Let's come back to Allianz Global Corporate and Specialty, or AGCS, on Tuesday released a new Global Risk Barometer report highlighting key risks, threats to business around the world and across the regions. Speaking to me here now on this latest report, in particular for Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa, is Niran Adeyemi. He is a property and casualty insurance expert at the Allianz office here in Nigeria. Good having you on the show tonight.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you. Thank you. Let's get the ground running. Give me, from a global perspective, what are the key points from this risk barometer report,
right,
globally speaking?
Globally, it's both stability and change, as the risk barometer report for 2023 shows that the top two risks last year, business interruption and cyber incidents, remained the top two in 2023. The concerns, of course, continues following the fallout of COVID-19 and the economic recessions that we've seen over the last couple of years. Interestingly, also macroeconomic developments such as inflation, deflation, and the rest also coming at number 3, proving to us that we continue in the wave that we were on in the last 1 year.
So if you speak specifically to Nigeria, and I went through and I saw region by region, Africa, Asia, Pacific, the United States, and of course, and Asia. But again, look at Nigeria specifically. What's the highlights for Nigeria in this particular report?
I think for Nigeria, it's similar to what we see in the rest of the world. Macroeconomic indices coming at number 1 of the concerns. Number 2 is political risk and violence. Of course, we understand the reason for that because of the upcoming elections in a couple of months. And then we have cyber incidents coming at number 3. Now, interestingly, we have 2 new entrants in the top 10 for Nigeria. We have a shortage of skilled workers, which is a key risk for businesses in Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa, as well as the energy crisis that we see globally.
I'll talk about the new indicators that you just assigned a few ranking. But again, when you look at the risk indicators and the percentages, how did you arrive at whether political violence and all that is a whole lot more or less risky as a threat to business in Nigeria than the macroeconomic situation? Right.
So the Allianz Risk Barometer report is a report generated after discussions with top key risk executives across the world. This year's event, we had nearly 3,000 respondents, and these are people from key risk parts of the business, top CEOs, top executives. And the report that we have today identifying these risks is a summation of all the opinions, expert opinions on the risk facing the business. And that's how we came across.
So why do you think theft, fraud, corruption, shortage of skilled workforce, energy crisis, and critical infrastructure are very pertinent and that should be used as a new set of indicators for Nigeria, for example? Right.
Nigeria is a growing economy. One of the things that we see is that shortage of skilled workforce is going to affect your economy as you proceed or as you try to grow. Secondly is infrastructure. You've talked about that already. And for example, our strategies in driving what we want to do in terms of developing workforce, developing work from home and the changing work environment is also a key important indices. And I believe that that's one of the reasons why the risk experts have identified these issues as key for us in Nigeria.
But is that a trend of risks across Sub-Saharan Africa, or are there a little bit of country or region specifics for SSA, for example, between East Africa, West Africa, Southern African region?
Interestingly, the world over is similar. The top 10 risks are similar across Europe, across Africa. The differences might just be in the variation or in the level that the region believes that the risk is on. But generally, the risks are similar.
So if the risks are similar, how do we de-risk? Are there anyone give an idea of how to de-risk these issues for Africa and in Nigeria in particular?
Well, focusing on the top risks that we have mentioned, I'll just take cyber, for example.
Cybercrime.
Yes, cybercrime. One of the things we saw following COVID-19 was increased attacks on entities, large corporate organizations. And Allianz, AGCS, and risk partners were trying to come up with different products and policies, as well as recommendations for risk management, especially around the problem of cyber attacks. Also, the good thing also is that because of this risk, businesses have now become a lot more involved in business continuity management, in methods of managing the risk that their businesses face, and in being able to bounce back should the event of a threat occur. And for us, that's a positive going forward.
Well, we're going to deal a whole lot more because we have a new year. An election is just here. I'm sure Perhaps if we're looking at next year, things will be a little bit different.
Certainly, we expect it, although the risk atmosphere is usually very unpredictable, especially with the changing climate and the world economy. But we are optimistic about the future and about what is coming along the line of risk.
If I want to de-risk, do I need to talk to Allianz?
Of course, certainly. Allianz AGCS are specialists in managing people's risk, not just about risk transfer, but also about helping you identify the risk that your business might be exposed to and how to mitigate or manage those risks. And of course, certainly, we are available for that.
Is Nigeria still an investment destination based on these risks that we've seen so far?
Certainly, Nigeria is an investment destination. What you see also is that the risk that we have identified in Nigeria cuts across the rest of the world. Nigeria is definitely not the special case in this matter, and definitely we are seeing new entrants into our business, especially around the insurance and risk transfer space. So definitely something good coming from that.
I'll be touching base with you in the days and weeks ahead. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great evening.
You too.
All the best. Niran Adeyemi of Allianz in Nigeria.